Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 147 for Tuesday, the 20th of December 2022. I'm your host, Mark Webb, and joining me on this fine evening is...
Nick Wilson. These two are really sick and ill, but I'm okay.
I'm actually not too bad now, thankfully. It's Sunday Switch.
You're so lucky. I had proper flu for about a week and a half.
Just a horrible cold. Yeah.
Bed bound for a week.
At least
shit.
At least your boiler's working, Webby.
Yeah. Well, and my voice is now all sexy and husky as well for all the ladies out there.
Do any ladies listen to this?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know if anyone even listens anymore. But there we go.
They just have to put up with it when someone else is listening.
Yeah. But so we've had quite a lot of time off. I've actually just had a look online, and the last episode we put out was on the 29th of November. It's been about 3 weeks. Yeah. So I did say...
Well, yeah, you were having a week off, and then you went down with a lurgy, so...
Yeah, so I said I was going to have a couple of weeks, and we're thinking of doing a Patreon episode. Maybe within that time.
Then I was in London, so I went about.
Yeah, and then I've just I had this horrible flu. And I'll tell you what, it's the worst flu I've ever had. I was literally couldn't get out of bed for about a week. So I'm kind of starting to feel normal now. As you can tell, my voice isn't. So apologies for all the coughing, but that's just how it is. But I just want to say a very Merry Christmas to everyone who's listening, because this is going to be the last show before Christmas. So happy Christmas to everybody. And there probably won't be another episode now until the new year, to be honest.
Game of the Year Spectacular, is it?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a Game of the Year special in the new year, probably within the first week or two of the new year, which will be awesome. And then we'll get back to the regular scheduled programming, I guess, because we want to start on our PlayStation specials like we did with the Xbox specials, right? So starting with the PS1 and moving on through the consoles of the PlayStation, which will be really, really good.
We're never going to get PS1 done in one show, are we?
We might do.
Yeah, I think we will. I think that it was... PS1 was successful, but I think PS2 was where it really sort of like became mainstream, per se.
Well, I think I played less PS2 games than I did PS1, but then I had a GameCube and Xbox at the same time, so I think I just picked the best sort of games between all three of them rather than loads of them. But
the PS1 had some of the greatest JRPGs of all time.
Oh yeah, I suppose we'll just bang like most of the Final Fantasies and things like that out together, sort of thing, rather than spend like half an hour on each Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So whilst we've been away sick and our boiler's not working and various other things, quite a little bit has happened in the world of gaming, most notably the Game Awards.
Yes.
Which I actually sat and watched most of.
Did you watch it live or the next day?
No, I was ill, mate.
Next day.
Because I wasn't on until like 2 a.m. or something, right? 1 or 2 a.m?
4 in the morning.
I think it finished.
Oh, really?
3-4.
I mean, I was working the night shift, so I was definitely working hard, not sitting there with my headphones on watching it.
Oh, okay. The highlight of the show for me was when I think it was like a 15 or 16-year-old walked on stage with the Game Award winners, the Game of the Year Award winners, and then talked about Bill Clinton being his rabbi. I was like, what the fuck is this all about? That was hilarious.
Yeah, I couldn't watch because that was right at the end, and I was like, I thought, who the fuck is this guy? And I was seeing the reaction to the people behind. They were just pointing at him saying, who's this?
Yeah.
He literally just walks out the crowd, walks up with them and helps them, like escorts them on stage and shaking their hands and stuff as though he's like part of the organisers.
Yeah.
I think the only person who was kind of giving him a bit of a funny look because he didn't really sort of look like he belonged there was Joseph Fares, the previous Game of the Year winner for It Takes Two, who was obviously presenting it.
Yeah. So what did we think about Elden Ring winning game of the year after God of War pretty much won all the individual things before that.
I saw that coming, to be honest. God of War won for its original game. So, I mean, there is talk that it could still have won for the sequel, but I think Elden Ring just had more pull and it was available to pretty much everyone. It wasn't just on one system.
Yeah, very, very true. And I mean, as I say, I've not even played the new God of War, so obviously I can't pass any judgment on it.
I did play Elden Ring for about an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, I spent half an hour, 40 minutes building my character, making his head and hair look just right. And then I started the game and he had a big samurai hat on, so I couldn't see his head anyway. And then I got up to some boss on a horse and he just kept killing me in 10 seconds. And then I stopped
He's optional.
playing.
He's an optional boss. You don't have to deal with him. You can
I
just go
do.
straight past him.
If he's there, I have to. That's how I work. I was running. I was really happy. I don't know how, but I was running around killing all these little rabbits, really enjoying myself. And then I was just, there's this big guy on a horse. Oh, I could take him out. This game's easy. And then he just like hit me in one hit and pretty much killed me. So I'm like, oh. Yeah, fair enough. Plus, I don't know how to spend my little souls things or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called in this one yet.
You need to play it, man. It's such a good game.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Can you only level up after you meet the girl, or is that just how you get the horse?
I'm not sure. I haven't got that far because you normally have to do something in these games before you can. Because you have to die at a certain point to show you that when you die you come back at this thing. I think some of the other, like Bloodborne, I think you have to kill one of the first bosses or something, and then you go back and then the doll lady turns up so you can spend them, but I'm not sure what you do in this one. Like I said, I need to spend more time on the actual game than making sure my hair looks just right and my beard is the right colour.
Yeah. So the thing I loved about Elden Ring this year was that it was the one game that just created so much conversation with the community. I hadn't seen the Discord that busy in ages. You know, made a specific room for it, and as people were chatting in it all day, every day about all the different things they'd done, things they'd seen. You know, doing the co-op. Yeah, it was good. Really good game, man.
So what was your best part of the Game Awards then?
The trailers.
Yeah. Oh.
But which trailers did you enjoy the most? Because I only have one that I loved.
Oh, there's loads. I mean, I don't know how much you want to obviously go into the Game Awards, but they obviously started off with like a little half-hour pre-show before the main show started.
Oh, I didn't watch any of that.
Silly little awards out the way. So
no, I
they
didn't see
ran through like the best esports team and all that shit. No one cares about.
Who gives a shit about that?
But yeah, they sort of spattered some surprises in there. Street Fighter 6 showed off 4 new characters.
Guys, I'll be back in a minute. I just need to grab a drink of water and some medicine. I feel like awful. Just give me a minute.
No worries.
Oh, he's going to have to do some editing now.
Yeah.
Unless he just...
daily days.
Yeah. Well, it's his idea to record.
Yeah, that's fine, isn't it?
Mm.
Everyone's here, isn't it?
Yeah, all 3 of us. I still don't know what I'm doing with this Vampire Survivors, but I can't stop playing it, and I don't know why.
It's fucking amazing. I've got 2 more achievements, and I think, 4 more achievements technically left to get until I start the new DLC that came out this week.
Mm. Which
is like a really expensive £1.50 odd.
Probably. Is that part of the Xbox, or do you have to pay for that extra?
No, that's a pay-for one. It's not a Game Pass.
So I bought this on Steam ages ago because it was like £2 something, and I was like, I'll play that soon, and then I've just been really busy. I never know what to pick when I level up. I'm like...
Right, if you haven't actually done any of the weapon evolutions yourself yet, you'll have a little guide up on a phone or something next to you. But once you've actually done the evolutions, when you're picking your 6 weapons and your 6 sort of passives, will say.
I'm back.
It will tell you, it will tell you which one evolves other weapons and stuff when you pick them, because you can actually have all 6 like fully evolved. But some of the stuff in that is insane. The more you play it, the more secrets there are to find, and it just keeps going and going.
I've only played it for like 3 or 4 hours today, but I don't know.
Today.
I'm getting money and I've got to spend it. Does that stuff, what you buy on the main menu, does that just stay there forever, sort of thing?
Yeah, it's permanent. It's permanent.
Right. So I suppose I've got to upgrade that stuff to make so I can level up better in the
more
game.
you play it, the better it is, and the easier it is, the more you sort of play through, because you've obviously got more unlocks and stuff. So, like, obviously, your good ones to get at the start are growth, so your XP goes up, or so you level up quicker. Attack, and I'd say orb is a good one to have as well, so you pull in orbs, things a bit closer.
I just keep upgrading my whip and axes and stuff, and then...
I will say garlic and evolved garlic early on when you're playing the game, pretty hip. I haven't touched either of those for the last 20 hours I've been playing it. Because there's just other stuff that's way better. Like your Bible. Get your Bibles up and get them evolved.
Yeah. I was speaking to a lady, I said, I've been up to level 22. She's like, I'm like 200 and something. I'm like, excuse me?
You can like unlock endless mode and other such things in it as well. But yeah, carry on. Sorry, Webby, you were...
Yeah, so Game Awards wise, the only trailer that I really enjoyed, I'm really hyped for it now, is Final Fantasy 16.
Look, that trailer was amazing.
It looks amazing. But also the stuff that I've been reading about Final Fantasy 16 has really piqued my interest even more, because apparently there's a lot of swearing in it, and looking at some of the ratings boards as well, it's looking like it's a little bit like Game of Thrones, the game, like with a lot of gore and sex and stuff like that.
From the stuff that I've heard him talk about, like Yoshi, being the director, producer guy, when he's been talking about 14, he always talked he wanted to do a lot more with 14, but they won't allow him to do it because of the ratings board. Because if he did stuff, it would push the game up to a higher rating, which would mean possible restrictions in certain countries, and obviously having less of a user base having access to it, etc. And with an MMO, that can be like really bad for it.
Yeah.
Per se. So yeah, this is kind of the game that I think he's always wanted to make. He's like a dark, westernized fantasy game.
Yeah. It looks just so... It just looks like the most mature type of adult Final Fantasy ever. That's what's really piqued my interest on it, like proper, Game of Thrones type setting, it's all like medieval type Europe type setting, and it's just all this shit going on. Yeah. And the trailer made it just look so fucking epic, man. So
I they just keep it a little bit more simple than some of the other Final Fantasies that are so confusing, and they want you to watch movies and stuff before the game comes out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is, I think you're just gonna be able to dive right in and have a lot of fun with it.
I mean, it was nice to see, obviously, a bit more of the gameplay.
Yeah.
Didn't we get an official release date as well? Just afterwards? I'm sure we got one.
Coming in, is it June 22nd or somewhere around there?
Sounds right, yeah. Yeah, it's awesome.
So some people were complaining because it's the exact same month that Diablo 4 and Street Fighter 6 come out.
Oh, well.
They're all different types of games, though, aren't
they? I get it, yeah. But I know a lot of people are fans of at least 2 of those.
Yeah, it's 22nd of June. And it says on Wikipedia it's a timed exclusive, so I don't know if that means it will come to Xbox.
Allowed to come out on other platforms after basically 2023, January 1st, 2023, I think.
So I think it's coming to it's coming to PC as well as
Definitely
PlayStation on
coming
launch,
to-
though, isn't it?
No,
No,
Is it just PlayStation on launch and that's it?
just PlayStation and
it's just
Oh.
PS5, not even PS4.
Oh. Oh, bloody hell. I thought it was coming to
So we know
PC as well.
it's definitely coming to the PC, like in 2023. I'm not unsure about, obviously, Xbox.
Oh.
Yeah, 'cause I'm surprised Remake 7 Remake still hasn't come up on Xbox yet, has it?
Yeah, I don't think it ever will, mate, to be honest.
I mean, it's just weird that they were on Xbox and now they just don't bother.
I know.
Because you've got to think that Xbox would want that on their console, so why they haven't, I don't know.
Exclusivities,
Contracts
mate.
and stuff, I don't know. Yeah, like we were saying before, weren't we, about the fact that both Sony and Microsoft were generally quite quiet during the Game Awards when it came to showing off like new stuff because of a certain court case that's currently going on with a certain publisher, and neither of them basically wanting to go, oh, look at what we've got, because they're both doing the poor me act, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that was literally my highlight of the Game Awards. Everything else, I was just like, meh.
All right, we like a ton of the trailers. There was pretty interesting ones. That I mean, the Lords of the Fallen or whatever it is looks so much better than the first game.
Yeah, that does look quite good, actually. Yeah,
Very gothic and like heads wrapped in barbed wire and all that kind of juicy stuff, I guess.
It's like a Dark Souls clone, is it? Because I played the first one very briefly and fell off it again very, very
Yeah,
fast.
the first one was very like Nordic, wasn't it? Sort of Viking inspired, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Did either of you two get what was the demo they announced and that you could download it for PS5?
Forspoken, I've played it.
Yeah, any good?
It's okay.
What game is this, sorry?
Forspoken.
Oh, yeah, I've downloaded the demo, not played it yet.
Yeah, it's reasonably okay. I thought the music and everything in it was pretty well done. The combat at the moment was where I was, bearing in mind I only played it for around an hour, so I didn't play it for that long, but I wasn't particularly blown away. So you've got different magic types on your L1 and R1, and then you use them with the trigger buttons, but then you can hold them down to switch them out on the fly, and it all feels a bit hack-handed to me. But then again, I did struggle initially with the weird combat that they put into Scarlet Nexus, and ended up it just clicked after a while, and I was fine with it.
Okay.
So it might just be that aspect. And I was kind of a bit ill as well when I was playing the demo, so that might have affected my enjoyment with it at the time somewhat as well.
Yeah, sneeze and snot all over your dual sense isn't going to help, is it?
No, it doesn't help over anything really. But it seems definitely worth a try. It's quite a hefty demo, isn't it? It's like 30 odd gig.
Yeah.
It's like a sort of reasonable, sizable chunk. Yeah, you have to go into the options as well to change the settings around, because I think you start off on like quality mode.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and it just feels a bit janky, I guess.
Yeah. So you sort of obviously want a smoother experience, you want performance, etc. There was some other.
There was a trailer called Judas I thought looked quite good. Do you remember this one?
Yep, Judas. Yep, that's the Ken Levine BioShock guys.
Yeah, that looks quite good actually.
It looks kind of very similar in the weird sort of art style that he used for BioShock.
Yeah.
Like big and chunky, if that makes any sense. So it didn't actually depart too much from that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought it just looked quite interesting. Yeah, very, very BioShock and weird and wacky, you know?
I mean, the Diablo 4 trailer was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, I want to see some gameplay on that, though. More gameplay.
I mean, you've seen gameplay before. They've shown it off during the What's It's.
Yeah.
It's going to be exactly the same as the last 3 Diablo games.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what
Yeah,
was
my
excited for, though, was the new Star Wars Jedi Survivor game.
Yeah,
Because I really enjoyed the last one.
I've
Yeah, I only
Gingerbread.
played it this year.
for the install.
That looks good. And then as you say, I was surprised about the Death Stranding 2 announcement. I never finished the first one.
I never started the first one.
It's just a bit weird, man. I couldn't finish it because I just found it just a bit odd. You know?
His MO, MO though, Kojima, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
basically just create weird and wacky visuals and things like that. And
it's weird because
stick
I
the
thought he
storyline
was
to it.
doing something for Xbox now. I didn't
He is.
realise. But then to see that, I was like, oh, I thought he was. I didn't know there was a Death Stranding 2. I didn't think that was the type of game for a sequel, but
Yeah, that's what I was
apparently
thinking.
it is. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember the ending. I've seen the ending 2 or 3 times because my mate, Liquid, who streams on Twitch, he's streamed it loads and he loves the game.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't got a clue. It's something you're at a beach and then there's a bird in a red dress, and that's all I can remember. And then you just run around with a big backpack on. But he's upset. Yeah, delivering stuff, and then they patched out all the Monster Energy drinks for some reason.
It was a timed sponsorship deal, which always annoys me with these stupid time sponsorship deals, because they did them with a load of outfits in Dead or Alive, where they had outfit collaborations with like other games from like Koei Tecmo and Senran Kagura and stuff, and then when the deals expire, they have to rip the costumes off the marketplace. Like, you're fine if you own them before then, but if you don't, they're going to be gone. It's like if you can't have them in the game or whatever all the time, just don't bother with these time deals because they're pointless.
Yeah,
it's weird they used to do that. I remember Crazy Taxi back in the day. They had sponsored. I say sponsored. They had like KFC and Pizza Hut, and then in later versions they took it out. I just thought that's because they the companies weren't paying for the newer versions of those games, so that's why they didn't put them in. But weird.
More to do with like they couldn't use the things without the copyright of the actual people. But then that seems silly because you'd be like, oh, they're going to stick our company in their game.
Yeah, free advertising. Yeah, it's just.
But yeah, going back to Diablo 4, my main worry with that game is the fact that it is an always online game.
Yeah.
I think that game's going to have so many fucking issues when it launches of people not being able to play it.
Well, 3 was a complete success when it launched, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not like they did away with the always online requirement.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure they've learned their lesson and won't try that again. That was sarcasm, by the way.
Oh, no,
mate. Remnant 2 had a really damn good trailer as well.
Oh, yeah.
I never played the first one. My friend has it. Like, obviously, it was just called Remnant of the Ashes, wasn't it? The original one.
Oh, yeah.
Like a sort of weird third-person-y hack and slash stroke shooter Souls-like game. But I will say the aesthetic they've gone with in Remnant 2 looks completely batshit in comparison to the original.
It looks
like
quite
you've
good,
got
actually,
like lords on thrones, and then like almost like a rogues gallery of like villains that you'd expect to see in like a Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
Like over the top, and I think it gave the game a lot more personality as well. Tekken 8 had a decent showing.
Yeah, that looks quite good as well, yeah.
I think that game's going to be late next year, if it is next year.
This Nightingale game looks quite good.
Which one's that one?
It's very stylised. You go for like portals into different worlds and shit.
Is that the one by the... is it the 2D
No,
Pixel.
it's 3D. It's a Victorian fantasy crafting survival game. You like go through these different portals into these different worlds, and it just looks quite interesting, very magical and mystical. Yeah.
Another game that I was kind of surprised by as well, because it was when it was first announced that it obviously came up with the developers, and it was like, oh, it's the new game by Don't Nod, and I'm like, oh, isn't that the Life is Strange lot, and
Yeah.
all of that jazz. But it's called like the Banishers or the Banished or something, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
Like it has like a guy sort of obviously sitting there talking to either a helper or some sort of tracker or something, talking about his job, and he's obviously there with his love interest and stuff, and then they're talking about what job he does, and then she sort of like he says, "Oh, I banish spirits," and then she sort of like dissipates, sort of a thing, and it looks like him and obviously her as like a spiritual companion to him going around. Didn't show a great deal, but again, it looked really nice what they did actually show of it, and it has potential to be really cool.
Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3, I think looks quite good as well. I do like those games.
Yeah, I think they showed that off in the pre-show actually.
Oh, okay. I did certainly saw the trailer. I'm looking at it again now. It looks quite good.
That's been out for a while on PC though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's not finished though. It's in beta still. Like,
oh right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So they're just obviously leading up to a full release.
A full launch, yeah. Yeah.
I heard the screams on the wind from my mate as Armored Core was finally announced.
Isn't it Dark Souls people doing that?
Yes, it's FromSoft. Yeah, they've always done the Armored Core games.
Oh,
they just haven't done one for fucking forever.
Yeah. And they've even and they come out and said no, it's not going to be Souls-like.
Good.
So yeah.
I mean, the Armored Core games are generally quite difficult anyway, in their own regard, because it's all about sort of like mech management and weight distribution and dealing. It's very nerdy for people who love all of that.
Remember that one on the OG Xbox with the massive controller?
Steel Battalion, I still have.
Oh, is it Steel Battalion? I thought it was Armored Core for some reason.
No, that was Capcom.
Oh, okay. But it was the same thing for some reason. Ooh.
Oh, but yeah, he's been waiting for them to announce that for like the last 2 years, ever since the rumours were that they were working on another, like one of their mech franchises.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did see the internet was quite excited for it, so.
I mean, I said to him, if they're going to announce it, they're going to announce it at TGS, because that's more of the audience. Like the Western market isn't particularly like, mecha game. like usually, but maybe they thought with the Game Awards we'll announce it here, and they're going to get a lot more people try it out because it's a FromSoft game and they've now got a very good pedigree behind them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think next year is looking quite positive for video games, mate, to be honest, especially with all these trailers that we saw at the awards show.
Unless you like Xbox.
Well, Game Pass, mate, is pumping out loads of stuff.
Yeah, Starfield's due next
Is that officially not on the others as well? No.
What, Starfield?
Yeah.
It's Xbox exclusive, mate.
Cool. Yeah, Xbox and PC.
I mean, the thing is, right, Game Pass has pumped out some good games already the last few weeks. Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide is fucking awesome. I've been playing that. Yeah, because it got delayed on Game Pass console. High on Life just come out and people are raving about that as well. Just 2 big games in the last few weeks. Return to Monkey Island, that's really good. Some Game Pass.
Vampire Survivors.
Yeah. You got Lego Star Wars on there now.
Which was robbed at the indie game in the indie game department, as far as I'm concerned.
Did they not win anything?
No. It was nominated for Best Indie and it lost to Stray, which I know people liked it, but when you consider Vampire Survivors was originally made by one guy on his own, it's just like such an achievement for such an addictive game.
It's just so simple and addictive. It's just weird.
Available now on free for mobile, apparently.
What? Vampire Survivors?
Yes, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Only downside is it's portrait only, I believe.
Might not make much of a difference.
I don't know. Not being able to see as much of the screen, like is. I'd have rather it played in landscape, but
maybe an update. At least maybe you found something that replaces Gears Plop.
There was a few other things that slightly annoyed me from the Game Awards as well, or one at least. Was they had the players vote, didn't they, for Game of the Year?
So, Mike, you say that again.
They had the players vote for Game of the Year, like, you know, the one where they let the public decide the vote. And I remember seeing earlier in the week that it was like, oh, it's down to the wire between Sonic Frontiers and Genshin Impact. And I'm like, why the fuck is Genshin Impact on there? It came out years ago.
It's still popular though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not Game of the Year. It's game of like years ago. Like, it's not a new game. Like, you wouldn't have, like, we have it on our thing, sure, like expansions, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's been an expansion out for Genshin. It's just one of these games.
Seasons, like, isn't it? Seasons.
Yeah, it's just a game like Fortnite that just keeps going, and they keep adding like random new content to it. And it won the vote as well.
No.
It's just like, really? What the hell? Like, at least Sonic came out this year.
Yeah.
And people seem to really like it.
Oh, I think Sonic Frontiers is bloody awesome, mate. Best.
You played it on Switch, where apparently it's awful.
I know, but it's still good fun though. So
Especially
much
when
fun.
you don't pay for it.
I don't know what you're on about.
No, what did I say there? Sorry.
Also, Multiversus won the best fighting game category, which is, like I say, platform fighters should not be in that category. That should be left for proper fighting games, one-on-one.
I'm also furious I didn't win Streamer of the Year. I'm quite obviously the best Twitch streamer.
Who was Streamer of the Year?
No, I didn't know any of them, mate, and I've been on Twitch for years.
Anything else from the Game Awards? I think that's about it.
It's probably a load that I can't just literally think off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'll say there was a lot of interesting and unique little games coming out. Oh, the Sony announced like some game called Pathfinder.
Oh, I've not heard of this.
Which I signed up to the beta for it.
Okay.
Just for a crack. I think it's one of their. You remember, like, obviously back in Deer, they mentioned that they were going to start doing like a few live service games and other bits and bobs.
Right.
From sort of studios, and I think this is one of them. It's kind of looks a bit like Torchlight in the character stylization, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
But it's like a top-down sort of Diablo-esque sort of looter game, like a loot game, where you select from a class and then customize them and take them out, and they can all use the same, like different weapons, but they can. Every class can apparently use every gun or every weapon.
Yeah, it looks like a Diablo style isometric.
Yeah, it's going to be a free to play, but yeah, there's a beta that you can sign up for at the moment. I probably won't get in because I'm not a streamer, because usually it's streamers and influencers that get in on things like that. But it has got an NDA, so I'm kind of guessing that even if like streamers and top people did get it, they wouldn't be able to live stream it anyway. Well, maybe they could live stream it, just not necessarily talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Oh, there
I
was
do
that
want-
other weird game, wasn't there? Christ, I can't remember the name of it. It was kind of awkward and weird when they came out on stage, but there was a few famous faces sort of rocked up because you had obviously Al Pacino turn up. Didn't know where he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you doing there, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, did anyone like? I did like that game. Oh, what was it called? I've saved it now. I had Michael Madsen and Danny
That's the one I
Glover
was
and
just about to talk
oh,
about.
what was it called? I've saved that because I'm getting like Vice City clone vibes from that
Yeah,
one.
Really?
Vice City mixed. It sounds like a Vice City mixed with Payday kind of stuff. I'm
Yeah, it's
guessing.
called Crime Boss Rock A City.
But yeah, it's literally like almost like a cast of a classic GTA. You've got
Yeah,
like you say,
Michael
Michael
Madsen,
Madsen,
Danny Glover, Danny Trejo, Paul Walker, Texas
Kim
Ranger.
Basinger, was it?
Yeah, I think so. There's loads of people. Like,
Oh, this looks awesome. The graphics
Vanilla
look
Ice.
stunning.
yeah.
Vanilla Ice, Michael Rooker,
I found a 6-minute gameplay video on YouTube.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know where that came from. Hopefully they haven't just spent loads of money for the actors and the game's trash, but be a bit of laugh.
I was half expecting it to be some mobile game or something.
Yeah.
Be your own crime boss, like a little top-down map, and you just move people around.
Yeah.
But no, it sort of showed off sort of gameplay of like for FPS stuff.
Yeah, it looks good, man. Like a big open world city. Man, this actually looks really good.
I mean, there was a couple of trailers that launched a few days before the Game Awards as well. One of which was like Dead Island 2.
That's been delayed again, isn't it?
Yes, so it was pushed back till April out of February.
Good. I just bought Dead Island 1 for $5 today, so it gives me time to install it and never play it.
I will say, from what I saw of the latest trailer of Dead Island 2,
yeah,
that game looks like it's going to be really fun gameplay, but surrounded by like the uttermost modern, cringe-inducing shite imaginable. If you see the trailer, you'll get what I mean. It's just like every character you come across is some fucking idiot or a dickhead or something, and it's like I don't know. Dead Island was always semi-serious to me. Like there was a darkness to it, but it kind of looks like this new one's just being sort of just played for complete like laughs. And I'm not too sure.
Then it may have gone woke.
Oh no.
I don't know if that's the case, but it just looks like the usual sort of tropey, sort of silly, stupid characters and stuff. I'm just like, not really interested in that kind of thing. But we shall hopefully see. I want it to be good because I did enjoy the original and the sequel.
Yeah.
Although that had a really stupid ending in the sequel anyway, so.
Can I just say, I know it's nothing to do with Game Awards or anything, but I'm really, really enjoying Crisis Core Remaster.
Yeah. Fair enough,
It's better than what I thought it would be, because obviously it's a remaster of a PSP game. So I was a bit dubious as to what it would look like graphically, but they've done a really good job of it. A really good job. It looks like a modern game. It's fantastic.
Yeah, apparently all of the sort of cutscenes and stuff in it aren't even 30 FPS capped either.
Yeah, it's just really, really good. I mean, obviously, like, it's an old game, so it's like some of the gameplay mechanics are a bit like, you can tell they're made for a handheld. Like, every battle, it's like, conflict started, conflict resolved, which gets a bit annoying. But apart from that, it's actually a lot of fun. And because I hadn't played it for so many years, it's I've forgotten a lot of it as well. So a lot of it.
They've redone all the music as well. Because that seems a lot better quality than I remember.
Oh, I think so. I think they've redone pretty much most things on it, to be honest.
So I've heard they've like redone the in-game stuff, but some of the cutscenes are still the PSP quality.
Oh, really? I haven't noticed any poor quality cutscenes. To be honest, they've all been pretty decent.
Well, I haven't seen a Digital Foundry video yet. I saw some I think IGN did a graphics comparison, but I'm like, don't really like IGN.
No. But yeah, that's just been kind of like I've been looking forward to it for so long, and it's just nice to have something positive to say about a fucking video game this year, especially a remaster, because a lot of remasters are normally pretty crap, aren't they? So
if it was a good game they remastered, they can't. How could they mess it up?
Wow.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about GTA.
Oh yeah, I was about to say the GTA trilogy remasters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that this year?
Yes.
That was last. That was late last year. It was late last year.
I thought it was this
year. No.
Oh.
It might have been the year before.
I don't know. I thought it was this year. All the years blurred into one, though.
I think they fixed it this year.
It's out on Xbox as well, isn't it?
No, it's janky as fuck.
Remaster.
Yeah, it's out on everything.
Yeah, it's out on everything, yeah.
Which is bizarre because
nothing else is.
Like you can have the prequel to FF7 technically, but you're not having FF7. And then it's leaked recently, hasn't it, that apparently the Pixel remasters are coming out?
Yeah, just to Switch and PlayStation,
on everything apart from Xbox.
Yeah. I don't understand why the Pixel remasters just didn't come out at the same time as it did on Steam.
Weird.
It's been out for nearly a year on Steam now.
Yeah, Square. Yeah, but then they delayed the releases as well, didn't they? They did 1 and then 2 and 3, 4, 5, then waited ages for 6. So
it's bizarre,
probably still making them. But I think they're a Nintendo Switch game. They'd be great to play those all on the go.
Yeah.
That's where I'd get them when they come out.
Yeah.
Because then you could do both.
Switch. They don't have Vampire Survivors on the Switch yet.
Yeah, that's weird.
You can play it on your phone though.
Yeah, that's not having it on. Like the Switch is a perfect platform for it.
It's just weird the amount of actual shit shovelware that is on that store. Yeah, they haven't got a game as good as this on there. Nintendo are weird.
Yeah, maybe it's licensing or something, I don't know, or because it's only a small team. I know the guy took on a few more people and sort of became like a mini little publisher stroke developer after the success. Because the game initially came out late last year.
I think it's only officially version 1.1.0 came out when it came out on Game Pass. So I think it's been in early access.
It's been getting drip fed stuff on PC for a while, but thankfully when it hit Game Pass, it came out with all of the current content on the PC and even the new expansion or DLC that they launched for it for the amazing price of £1.50 odd. That hit Xbox the same day as PC as well.
Maybe it didn't get many things because it wasn't officially out until the last few weeks, so it's probably maybe too late for this year's Game Awards thing. Because I say Crisis Score wasn't anywhere, was it, in the Game Awards? Well, I don't think it was even out by then.
No, it's only come out a couple of days ago, really.
Yeah, Tuesday? Was it Tuesday?
Yeah, around then, yeah. It was like the 14th or something, yeah. So, all good.
Jolly good.
Right. I think we should end. Or do you want to go?
Because I think that, we don't want to go on forever like Kratos' voice actor speech, do we?
No.
The fact that they fucking played him off stage.
It's like, get off, mate, get off.
Oh, he was on there for ages, wasn't he? Like 10 minutes.
Yeah, as soon as the music kicked in, you must be like, I think they want me to leave.
Yes.
Oh, so
that guy was so high, apparently.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I thought they were decent anyway. The Game Awards, they're the usual sort of mix of like slightly controversial decisions mixed with interesting, pretty cool trailers and announcements.
I think it's the best one they've done, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd say so for the stuff
was
that's coming out.
okay.
But
It's weird, like there wasn't any Xbox stuff though.
yeah, we are about to head into what I believe, I fucking cross my fingers that it is, one of the best years that we might see for gaming in a long time.
I hope so, yeah. There'll be loads to talk about, for sure.
Hope so. I think Xbox are going to do something early next year and just, like, chuck out about 10 exclusives that they've been working on.
There's rumours that Xbox might be holding an event.
Yeah, that's what I said. I heard that something early next year they were talking about.
Awesome.
Because they used to do that PlayStation event, didn't they? But then they haven't done that for a few years.
Yeah, what was that called?
They do a mini state of play 3 or 4 times a year rather than one yearly huge PlayStation thing.
Yeah, because Nintendo have the Treehouse, don't they, as well?
Yeah. Even then, with like the state of plays, they've stagnated ever since all this court case stuff with the Activision Blizzard stuff. Like they haven't really done anything.
Yeah,
this is why I believe we got stuff like surprise trailers from Final Fantasy and random things just popping out the blue, because I believe these are all supposed to be just state of play things, and because the state of play was cancelled, they're like, right, we're just going to put it out there then.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that Final Fantasy trailer, it didn't seem like a normal Final Fantasy trailer. It didn't seem like overly produced. It just seemed, like you say, kind of rushed and actually had gameplay. It just looked like a trailer from the game, which is good. That's what you want. We don't want.
I mean, the last one that came out before, wasn't it Ambition? And this one was Revenge. They've all got like different sort of titles to them and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just so interested to sort of like see what the hell's going on with that story and the characters and stuff. And I didn't actually think the game was going to have a party system, but from the latest trailer, it looks like it does.
It's going to be
awesome. I was kind of slightly glad because like there was a few characters that I had like slight death flags with.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, well, if that character's part of your party now, then I'm guessing they should be all right. We shall see. Atomic Heart had another launch.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking can't wait for that.
Lots of good things.
But yeah, if you just Google like, or just look up like the trailers from the Game Awards, you'll come across like just loads of really well-made trailers, even if they're not for games you particularly normally like or go for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously, what they voted, Elden Ring Game of the Year, that doesn't count. Obviously, 360 Gamercast is where you need to go to see what is the official Game of the Year, don't we?
Yeah, I need to ask for people's Game of the Year actually in the forums. I'll do that in a minute.
The other thing that's happened recently as well is everything seems to be announcing TV shows or films based on gaming products.
Oh, that Last of Us actually looks pretty good.
Does it?
Well, I thought it did. Well, I'm easily pleased. You know this.
But yeah, was it like they've announced the God of War series? They've announced like a Death Stranding film or something.
Oh, great. Well, that's not going to make any fucking sense. You might as well just watch Tenet again.
And I'm sort of like, well, you can do stuff in the games that you can't really do as well in film, because there's, like I've said, there's that weird disconnect for me anyway. If you do something all in CG, you can get away with stuff a lot more than you can if you're just like mixing CG with live action, because the CG can look out of place and a bit strange.
Yeah, but then video games, that's not the same as movies and TV. I mean, TV's not the same as movies, it's all just different pacing and things like that.
Even then, I'm still under this weird mindset of like, is what you're creating based on the original product as good as or better than the original product? Because if it isn't, don't waste that fucking time.
Yeah. Oh, they're just making stuff like this because they know people will watch it. I mean, I watched half an episode of the Halo TV show and I was like, this is crap, and I never watched anymore. And I liked Halo and stuff like that, but
I mean, it works with books and stuff because you're taking something from like just a written word into a visual medium. But if you're taking something that already exists in a visual medium and you're just doing the same thing again, but changing a load of the stuff that people are familiar with, it doesn't really hit properly. I
mean, they did. I remember. I don't think they do them anymore. They did a lot of Gears of War books as well, like stories.
They've actually talked about doing a film of that.
Yeah, they were pretty. Yeah, that Won't Die with Batista and The Rock as all these people, and they keep talking about it, but I think it's just talk. But...
Oh, can I just tell one of the game trailers from the Game Awards where I was just like, oh. Because originally I quite liked Space Marine, the original Space Marine on the 360.
Oh, so good.
It was basically like a Gears of War ripoff, but set in the 40k universe, and you were fighting the Space Orcs. So during the Game Awards, they showed off a new trailer for Space Marine 2, which actually shows you in-game footage of the guy walking around and battling hordes of enemies. And it kind of looks like Gears of War if Gears of War was turned up. Like old Gears of War was bumped up, like higher, like up to 11, as they say. Like,
had a Hellboy as well.
Enemies, and he's like using his jetpack and third person shooting with his bolter and all that kind of stuff. Looked fucking great. Like if they could actually go again with kind of a Gearsy rip-off, because in my opinion Gears has fallen off big time, and just gone a bit more insane with it, a bit more over the top, far more action-based, then that game could be phenomenal. But we shall see.
Are we at the end, do you think? Or
Please,
I think so. We've tried about 3 times to end.
I'm just thinking.
Before we go, Webby, just tell us because I've only played a couple of hours of it, but I know you played most of the trial, the EA trial, the new Need for Speed Unbound.
Oh, I really like it. The only thing that's a little bit frustrating about it is the police. I think when your wanted rating gets quite high and you lose the cops after a race, there just seems to be too many cops just randomly driving around. So then you're going to get spotted again, and then you have another bloody police chase, and it's just when you're trying to get back to base
to cash in your earnings.
Yeah, it can just become a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, that is my sort of thing. Like, I'd rather it was just a free reign thing rather than this kind of like you need to return to bank your earnings, but when you do, it moves the time forward to the next day and all that kind of stuff.
It's a risk-reward thing, but I think sometimes it just gets a little bit frustrating when you're just trying to get somewhere, like another race or just back to base. There's too many cops chases going on. But apart from that, I love the art style. I love the graphics. I love the customization of the cars.
Oh, that's phenomenal in this. Like, the customization is what sold it to me.
Yeah.
Because originally I laughed when I first saw the original trailer back in the couple of months ago. I was just like, what is this? What are they doing with it?
Yeah.
Like, with the weird cel-shaded art style and like all of the sort of comical smokes from your tyres and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it does kind of fit. And then I watched someone streaming it from obviously the trial, the EA trial that someone had. And they went in and they went to the sort of car thing to do it up. And I was just like, oh, I might have to buy this.
The thing is, I mean, because I've finished the trial now, I got up to the point where I couldn't get any further. And I'm putting off. I have put off buying it because apparently the dev team who made it have all left EA now.
All right.
Yeah, so there's not going to be any more updates or anything for it.
So it was Criterion, wasn't it?
Yeah, apparently they've all left from what I was reading online this week. Yeah. So it's a shame, really, because it's actually a really good Need for Speed game, but it didn't seem to have any advertising or anything. It just seemed to like.
I don't even know it was coming out.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it just appeared and that was it. I was like, oh, okay. What's going on?
I mean, there's
here?
definite sort of slight Underground 2 vibes there. I mean, you don't pose for cover shoots with like all your bumper, like your back doors open and the speakers hanging out and all that kind of stuff. But there is a lot of stuff you can sort of do with the car. One of the things that did actually throw me out was when I was actually playing the game, I was like, this song is in Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, it's fair enough, but I associate this music or this song with like a futuristic cyberpunk setting now. So having it in like a modern style racer or like today's set game is like a bit strange. Or it could just be someone in the game who really liked the cyberpunk soundtrack.
Yeah,
it's like I'm listening to it in my car.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think the game is great. But the only other thing that does grate me is the voice acting, like where that woman gets on the phone and she's like, "Hey, Speedy, you got to do this today. Hey, Speedy." I'm just like, it's so cheesy. I wish I could turn it off. You know,
her or the voice?
Both.
Right.
Just get rid. But I like the art style smoke and all that. I don't know what it is. I just think it's really cool. You know, and
there was one game actually that I know a lot of people were getting, and it's Forspoken. So if you're playing Forspoken, and you get constantly irritated by the back and forth banter between, like, obviously her and the cuff that speaks, you can actually go into the audio options and tone it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
that's quite good.
It just does it for story stuff, or it sort of like it does it less often.
Okay.
Because there was I watched a few people playing it, and they were like, "Will you shut up?"
Yeah.
Like, just constant.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've been trying to do some gaming because I finished Plague Tale, and that was fucking amazing. Absolutely one of the best games I've played this year. So I managed to get a little bit of gaming in. Just Crisis Core is my main single player game now, and still trying to. I've been playing some COD because I felt all right-ish on. Was it Saturday? Yeah, yes. Was it yesterday? Can't fucking remember now.
Saturday was yesterday.
Was it Friday? Oh, it was Friday. We did myself, Gavin, and Peeps.
Oh, the raid, wasn't it?
We did the raid on COD, yeah.
That was advertised at the Game Awards, wasn't it?
Oh my god. 2.5 hours it took us.
So let me guess, it's like pretty much every other raid ever made. Fucking unenjoyable the first few times through it.
Yeah.
Just like a nail and tooth pulling slog.
So there's sections on it, right? I mean, most of it isn't too bad, but there's a couple of sections where you've got to like talk to each other about getting these codes, right? But you're just getting wave after wave of enemies just coming after you, like infinite enemies, and it just becomes frustrating. Yeah. And it was just become more annoying than anything, and then at the end it's like you got to survive for 3 minutes of this waves of enemies, but it's like bomb drones coming at you, loads of enemies, ultimate fucking minigun dudes which take forever to kill. And it took us ages just retrying that, about half an hour at least, and I was just gonna fucking punch my monitor. That's how frustrated I was.
Yeah, no, usually like if after you run them a few times, you'll know what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah. But I get there's a whole thing of like you get mullered countless times because you're not supposed to know what you're doing. But
also
I've never found that amusing.
There's 3 different classes, so you've got your assault, your medic, and your sniper. But you can rank them up by doing the co-op as well.
And obviously, cool.
And so obviously none of us had really played much of the co-op, so all our ranks were really low, so we hadn't unlocked much on the classes, so I think that's another reason why we struggled so much. So, yeah. Another top tip from Webby. Play some fucking co-op on Call of Duty and you'll sort your dudes out. Yeah. Cool.
Still with us?
I think I'm still alive. Just
you're just obviously going into the week of sneezing and coughing.
it's this
At
cough.
least
I
there's-
just want it gone.
At least it should be gone by next week, so you can have a nice Christmas. Unless you're just going
Yeah.
to pass it around your
That
family and
is
just
the
keep
only
getting
silver
it.
lining. We
Yeah.
all had, pretty much my family have all had it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I haven't had it yet. A day later, I think I feel a sore throat coming on. Fuck.
Oh.
But, and then 3 days of sheer hell.
I keep getting that, and then the next day I was like, I feel all right now. I just keep getting on that verge of being really ill, and then
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, that's good.
Thankfully, I wasn't working when I was actually had it the worst, so that was good.
Yeah. I'm just getting the Mandeville gun, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you like the cutscenes that went on during?
Bloody hilarious. Yeah, bloody hilarious, man. I love it.
Yeah,
It's one of my
all you
favourite.
need is to get like 1,500 of the red times and then exchange them, and that will get you your weapon.
Okay, shall we end it here? Because we're just rambling.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
good.
All right,
Well,
guys.
that was the whole show, just rambling.
Well, yeah, I know the Ramble Cast, 360 Ramble Cast. Yeah, thank you very much for coming on, Nick and Darren. I much appreciate you guys taking the time to come on. I hope you both have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And your family. Hope you're
And
all
you
better
too,
soon.
Thank you. And then we will record again in the new year, probably in the first week of January. And finally, a very Merry Christmas to all our listeners out there. Thank you very much for your support.
Yeah, have a good one and a joyous new year, if possible.
Yes.
Yeah, happy Christmas, everybody.
Happy Christmas and don't get this horrible flu.
No, get pissed instead.
Yeah, just get pissed and,
And
have fun.
celebrate the fact that we didn't sing Christmas carols this year.
Yeah. My throat
Blessing on
couldn't
your
take
ears.
it. Awesome. Well, thank you very much. And we will see you in 2023. Goodbye.